Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 64. Sunday live. I've got a few things to talk about. Look, I might be solo tonight. Everyone else watching sport or drinking themselves silly, it seems. So I'll just cue some music. I think it's written. So I don't think anyone's out there yet. Come on, say hello on the side. Chat. Oh, music's finished already. So I'll just stop the music. Jamel's not with us yet. So Robert's been up all night watching the sport, so he won't be joining us. He's also grumpy because his team has lost. And Gerard, he was up late playing games, by the sounds of it, and other projects, and obviously went to bed late. So yeah, so is anyone out there? Nope, doesn't look like it. So we must begin, I guess. So we got a few topics to talk about. Planet 9. UFOs releasing orbs and other videos similar to that, and also lots of other things. So I have to work through it. So first of all, let's start with Planet 9, I guess. Now, Nova brought out a documentary 2 years ago called Planet 9. What was it now? Planet 9. The Secret of Planet 9 or something like that. Can't remember what the title was now. But apparently 2 scientists said that they did calculations on orbits, and they believe there's slight variation in some of the orbits that can't be explained other than a body that comes from as a large body that comes into our solar system once in a while, and this is the trajectory that they figured out. It was a bit complex. So yeah, I might just read that out. See if I can scale it up. So you've heard about Planet 9 and Nibiru. How do you say that word? And most of it's rubbish. Most of them are fraud, where they're getting reflections through another plate of glass and not using checks to verify that it's not a lens flare or reflection that they're picking up when they aim their camera at the sun. But this is true science here, talking about gravity. So Planet 9 is not the same as what they're saying is near the sun, because if there was something near the sun, the gravity would be noticeable. We would probably rip Earth apart, change all the weather patterns and tides, and probably rip the moon away from us, and all sorts of crazy stuff that could happen. So what they're saying here, in January of this year, Caltech researchers Constantin, here we go, it's got some good names coming up here, Mike Brown, presented evidence of a distant ninth planet in our solar system. They predicted this planet to be a mass and volume consistent with a super Earth, orbiting on a highly eccentric path with a period of 10 of thousands of years. So that in alone is quite interesting. You've often heard about ancient civilization talking about the 9th planet or the 10th planet. So maybe this is it. Maybe there was a time when it was visible and it left our solar system. So they go on here to talk about an update on it. Since Batyon and Brown's prediction, scientists have been hunting for further signs of Planet 9, though we haven't yet discovered an object matching its description. We have come up with new strategies for finding it. We set some constants on where it might be, and we made some interesting theoretical predictions about the properties. So I'm not too sure what they're talking about here with these patterns. Looks like different orbits. Some crazy orbits, that's for sure. Here are some of the newest constraints on Planet 9 from studies published. Resonant orbits. Renu Malhotra, University of Asanya. Asanya's already got a dry mouth. Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory and collaborators presented further evidence of the shaping of the solar system orbits by the hypothetical planet 9. The authors point out that the fourth largest period Kepler belt objects, KBOs, have orbital periods close to integer ratios with each other. Could it be that these outer KBOs have become locked into a resonant orbits with a distant massive body? So visualizations of resonant objects of the fourth longest period. Yeah, they're kind of strange. So anyone out there? Some people drop in and out. So carrying on. Authors find that a distant planet orbiting with a period of what's that, roughly 17,000 years, and a semi-major axis of 665 AU would have N1 and N2 period ratios with these four objects. If this is correct, it significantly constrains the parameters of Planet 9's orbit, as well as where it currently could be within its orbit. So I've got some more charts here. So not too sure how it relates to star maps. As you can see, you might have to be a bit of an egghead and someone that has a telescope in the backyard to help hunt for it. I suppose they would have to use radio telescopes actually to bounce signals around. So I guess they often talked about Earth's evil twin, so maybe that planet 9 is another Earth-like planet. Using these values and what we know about detection units of previous and current surveys, we can rule out roughly 2/3 of the planet 9's orbit, narrowing its position to be somewhere near Amphion. So where's Amphion? What's that mean? So that is that one of these? No. Authors find Planet 9 is likely to be cold. Well, if it's that far out from the sun, it's going to be, isn't it? As expected, within an effective temperature of 35 to 50 Kelvin at most. For reference, Neptune is around 60 K. Based on this cool temperature, the authors speculate that the methane may condense out of the atmosphere, changing the planet's reflection and emission spectra. This would cause the planet to appear much bluer than planets like Uranus, Neptune, and infrared energy bands. So yeah, it's not, doesn't say too much here. The constructs from these studies continue to support the existence of Planet 9, narrowed down regions in which we should search for it, and help us better understand what signatures we're looking for. In the words of Fortney, let the hunt continue. So yeah, so they seem to be positive that they're gonna find it. So that was back in June 2016. I'll post the link the other side in case you want to read about it. So that's Nova Documentaries, I guess. Nova Science. There we go. So, moving on. What's the next part to that? So we got also a wiki on Planet 9. I'll just close that bit down. And it's also this one, wiki. I'll just type Planet 9. So this, it's not this one that people keep putting up, like Nibiru, I think it said, or Planet X. It's easy to say. Nibiru. So there's going to be obviously a wiki on that. But it probably will talk about it's probably talk about some Greek god or something, probably. Let's have a look. Fiction. Nibiru, a planet from the film Star Trek. I didn't know that. Into the Darkness. Nibiru, a pseudo-scientific proposed outer planet within our solar system, described by Sekishiniri Sitchin. Ooh. So doesn't seem to have a link. Nibiru, spelled with E's, tribe of fiends and demons, the fallen. So Nibiru cataclysm, a supposed impending disaster encounter between Earth and a large astrological object. So there's not really a wiki on it, really, looks like it. Might be, a planet. No, that's Star Trek one. That's the wrong link. Where was it now? No click link. No click link. Oh well. Let's see if we got videos for it. All of them are fake from what I've seen. Lens flare and whatnot. So let's see. Nibiru, the non-existent planet, space.com. Nibiru returns the proof they don't want you to see. So Nibiru, newly found dwarf planet Goblin could lead us to planets. And then it sort of happens, flips the end off. Planet X evidence. So yeah, I was trying to find some photographs where they show it approaching the sun, which turned out to be like sun dogs and natural events, as well as Leighton's reflection. It's funny how when you're looking for it, you can't find one. There must be a lot of hits for that. What is it? Page 2 of about 295,000 results. Does that mean pages? Or 10 per page or something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's still a pretty lot of videos out there on it. So what's the latest one out? Let's have a look. So who's out there? I see someone's watching at last. Just say hi down the side. I don't bite. So yeah, so we've determined that there's possibly a high probability that there is a Planet 9, but Hubble has yet to capture it, or other people have yet to detect it with radio telescopes. If it does exist, maybe the maths is wrong. Maybe it's another one of these science mysteries why the gravitational orbits are slightly wrong. We never know. So that's why we've got to keep looking for answers. So here we go. We've got one here that might be one of these ones. That's just.
Bueno.
So what are we looking at?
Firmando Nibiru, domingo 7 de
these
agosto
ones we got on the
2016.
screen. Oh, gotta mute that. These ones we got on the screen. Obviously a lens flare, you saw a lens flare. But this other one here is because he's got a filter on it, and the only way to prove that is actually a physical object is put your finger up close to it, and if it disappears, you know it's a reflection through another piece of glass. DazzatheCameraMan's got some good articles or videos showing you how to do it. But these people that try and fool you with if you had an object that close to the sun passing close to Earth, because that's way bigger than even Venus would be, we would have some major problems with our tides. So yeah, but you probably can find what's his name, Dave from DazzatheCameraMan. What's his name? Dave Greg, I think. Is the cameraman. I think I've pointed out this before, how you can debunk it. It's hard to debunk other people's videos, but you soon get used to seeing the telltale signs like that one here, because they've got to shine it through a Weldon filter, because the sun's so bright, and it burns out your sensor on your phone if you do it without a filter too long. And, so he's got a channel here, come up straight away, because it's a pretty unique name. And he has various videos looking at the sun and the moon, as you can see. But he's got a video here called the thumb test or something like that. He also debunks a lot of flat earth, as you can see there. I'll post his channel on the side here for you to have a look at. Been going for a while now, and because he debunks things, he's not so popular, a bit like myself, when you debunk people. So what you can do anyway is, you can go up to the About tab. There's a search. You can search his videos. Nibiru. Got it wrong, have I? Oh no. So here you go. Which one is the best one for his test? There's a film, Strange Double Light Orb. Second sun. Well, let's have a look at that one. And it's only 3 minutes long, so it's probably one of his tests to prove how to debunk your own video. Just on
Sun or Nibiru or Planet X next to the Sun. A lot of the times it's because of the glare that we see from the Sun, and we're seeing internal lens reflections and lens flares and all sorts of other things. And people seem to think that the Sun is actually pretty big. It certainly looks pretty big in the sky. I'm not talking about its actual size, of course, because it is very big. It's nearly 1.4 million kilometers across. But as we see it in photographs and in video, it appears a lot bigger than it really is because of the glare that it gives off. But what if we take a look at it through a welding lens or a suitable filter that reduces all of that glare? Just how big is it then? Let's take a look. This is a number 12 welding lens I'm using here. And as you can see, when I bring it into the picture, the Sun's disk is a lot smaller than it appears when we're looking through all of the glare. I'm in New Zealand, which is in the southern hemisphere, and I can see all the way below the ecliptic, right down to the south celestial pole. And as you can see, I can't see any Nibiru or Planet X or second sun. In fact, all I can see is the Sun. Now, I thought I'd better put the Sun in the middle of the picture so that we could all get a good look, just in case anybody thought that maybe Nibiru or Planet X or the second sun was hiding just out of the top of the picture. So here's a nice clear look at the Sun, center of image, and once again all we can see is the disk of the Sun. No second suns,
but you get reflection.
no Nibiru, no Planet X.
But you saw he got a reflection. Like
Nibiru or Planet X or the second sun was hiding just out of the top of the picture. So
see that he gets a reflection in the actual filter itself, which obviously is not stationary, so it's not a fixed object because it moves around.
Here's a nice clear look.
You can see it's moved as he moves.
The Sun, center of image, and once again all we can see is the disk of the Sun.
And that's what people are filming. But anyway, he's got some other ones here where he does a finger test, but I can't spot it for this at the moment. Maybe if I search on the finger test or something. Finger. So the ultimate finger test, so it's probably that one there. Yeah, I'll just play a wee bit of it.
Hello, this is DazzatheCameraMan today.
I'll just skim a bit.
Lens. And now I'm going to set it to infinity. Now you see up the top of the screen there it says MF for manual focus. So there we go, this exposure, it's on auto now, A for auto. Now I'm going to push the button and lock it, it's now on manual. Okay, so that means that when I zoom out, the Sun isn't going to change as the camera changes its auto exposure. So we get that nice, stable and clear looking. Yeah. I'll 12 inches, 1 foot out in front of the camera. So that gives you an idea just how far out my finger is in front of the camera, and as I obscure the Sun, we can see that there's nothing next to it. Now, the other thing that we would want to do is, if we could see something that appeared to be another object, and let me see if I can bring up a lens flare, okay, that we can use. Okay, so we'll try and use one of these ones that's out to the bottom right there. The other part of the test is to put our finger over where the second object appears to be. So you can see I'm carefully positioning my finger where the lens flares are, and we can see that those objects appear to be superimposed over my finger. Okay, so obviously they're not real objects because they shouldn't be superimposed over my finger if they are. And again, if I block out the sun's disk, they disappear.
So there you go. So that's how you can debunk those other ones. As you saw, that other one was in the same position. It was always seemed to be on the same angle down to this direction, like 45 degrees down that way, is it? Anyway, you can check out his stuff in your own time. And there was a wiki on it here. And what's it saying? A hypothetical planet in the outer region of the solar system. Its gravitational influence could explain a statistical anomaly in the distribution of orbits of a group of distant trans-Neptunian objects, TNOs, found mostly beyond the Kepler belt. So where is solar system? So I should bring out a map. Map. Solar system. Kepler. See if that works. Probably typed it wrong, have I? So we got some images. Is there any good image though? Suppose we're going to have to zoom in. Kepler. Sun F Mercury Kepler 62 system. So it's sort of way out there by the looks of it. There's it's showing these objects here and in that internal circle there. So Earth is way too small to be seen on that little map at the top. So see if I can find a better one. Where's Kepler? Yeah, it's a simple question. Moons. It seems to be showing more of the solar system. What's that one give us? Mercury, comets, asteroid belts. Yeah, so where is Kepler then? Let's put it in. I think it's probably a, yeah, there's Kepler belt. I think they call it a belt. Let's see. And maps get smaller. I think it's talking about the probe. Kepler belt, here we go. So it's region of the outer solar system. Planets in orbit, Neptune, orbit. Pluto's orbit. So it's way beyond Pluto. So that sort of gives us an idea there. So probably enough on that planet 9. Anyway, half an hour spent on that. I just thought it'd be worth bringing up. So I think people are getting confused between this proposed planet 9 and all those Nibiru objects that people recording. So close that tab. So what's the next one? All right. So some guys got a little thing here about Planet 9 as well. Maybe I'll just play a bit of it. And I'll post it down the side if you want to watch it. So he might even show us where the Kepler belt is. So we'll see how well he does to what I just looked at.
Out in the solar system. When it was first observed in 2015 as part of an ongoing survey, it was about 80 astronomical units, or AU, from the Sun. That's 80 times farther from our star than the Earth, or more than twice as far as Pluto is right now. But comparatively speaking, that's actually really close to us. For 99% of its 40,000-year orbit, this object is so far away, we can't even see it. After years of observation, researchers have calculated that at its farthest, it's a whopping 2,300 AU from the Sun, much farther than any other known object. So far, we've only found 2 other objects with orbits comparable to this: the dwarf planet Sedna and the planetoid called 2012 VP-113. These objects are so far out that their orbits are mostly unaffected by the gravity of the 8 known planets. So by studying them, we can learn about the outer solar system and map what's going on out there. And these orbits may already be pointing to something big. All 3 of these objects, including TG-387, share similar orbital paths, almost like they're being shepherded by something larger. According to the researchers, that object could be the elusive Planet 9. To learn more, the researchers ran simulations to see how the gravity of a hypothetical Planet 9 would affect the orbits of these objects. And the results were promising. For one, they showed that these objects did maintain stable orbits. In other words, their current paths wouldn't be messed up if a Planet 9 existed out there. The results also confirmed that a hypothetical planet could be shepherding the small objects. That could explain why Sedna and TG-387 take similar paths. But to be sure, we need more data, or a direct observation of the planet itself. Scientists are looking, but since estimates suggest Planet 9 would never get closer to the Sun than 200 AU, it's going to be pretty faint and tough to see if it exists at all. Now, even if another planet does exist, don't expect us to send astronauts there anytime soon. Even if we could send a crewed mission that far, research published on Monday suggests we might have trouble surviving the journey. According to the study, which was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, long-term space travel has the potential to seriously damage our GI tract. The GI, or gastrointestinal tract, is the organ system we use to digest food.
So I won't play the rest of it. You can go and watch it on his channel. But yeah, he summed it up pretty good there with Planet 9. So as you can see, it's so far out. It's not going to affect us anytime soon. And we're going to have to send some probes out there and the outer reaches to even video it and send back. So it's not going to be these fake Planet X that people are filming in the sky at night time or in daytime through the sun. So yeah, it's just nonsense. So I'll just close that one down. So now we're finally done with that, hopefully. So before I get onto that one, I'll leave that one next. So there's some interesting articles here that I come across. Has the mystery of the glowing Norwegian orbs been solved? Experts claim natural battery creates an amazing light show. So, as you know, they have these strange lights in the sky that they capture on video. This article is talking about the presence of strange balls of light hovering over a valley in central Norway has baffled scientists for a year, known as the Hesdalian phenomenon. Not sure if I said that right. Always mucking up the pronunciations. The flashing orbs can be as large as cars and have been seen attracted attention from ufologists. But now scientists think the unusual lights could be formed by a natural battery buried deep underground, created by metallic minerals reacting with the sulfurous river running through it. So I'm just sort of showing it here, I guess. Great balls of fire. Some of the lights drift gently through the sky for up to 2 hours, while others flash white or blue and streak through the valley, disappearing in seconds. A computer engineer called Erlend Strand from Oxford University, Norway, has been looking for the physics behind the natural phenomenon since 1982, when frequent light shows captured the attention of the press and scientists. The researchers noticed a small fluctuation in the area's magnetic field before the formation of lights, but when they measured radioactivity and seismic activity, both of which could cause such a phenomenon, there was nothing unusual at the site. So there you go. And I got a little picture here. A node rod's rich in iron and zinc. So they're saying it's because it's got the right content in sulfur, as you know, sulfuric acid they use in car batteries. So it kind of makes sense that it'll be a natural battery. Just makes you wonder if the ancients also figured this out, maybe. And maybe they even tapped into the natural energy of the planet there to power things. I wonder if anyone's thought about drilling down some rods and in the right locations, either side of the sulfur, I guess, zinc and iron, and see what they can measure. So that's, you know, they talk about earth lights in New Zealand and other places where they get earthquakes. Hey, Jamel. I was wondering when you're going to show up. How was your weekend? Yeah, it's pretty much the same, researching and looking after the dog, keeping him happy. So, yeah, just been looking at things to talk about, and you sort of missed the first 40 minutes by the looks of it. But the first 40 minutes was on Planet X and a possible Planet 9 that's been discovered, so you can go back and watch that. But it's nothing to do with, obviously, Nibiru. That's all make-believe nonsense that people seem to make lots of money from. Yeah, he's all right. He wanted to keep on walking tonight, and I said, no, I got to go home and start a stream because it's nice outside. It's nice and warm. So, yeah. So I'm just reading out this article at the moment. It's talking about what's happened. It's gone into another graphic, I think. Oh. Talking about the funny lights they get in Norway. Norwegian orbs, as they call them. wonder if there's any videos of them. Maybe I can find a video of one. No. Oh well, here it is. I better mute it. Oh, I had it muted already. So let's have a look. Have we got some lights? I can see a red dot there. I'm not sure if that's it. Seemed to come from the ground and gradually head up, doesn't it? So could this be what some of the UFO sightings could be? Could be natural from charged ground. I bet Tesla was able to produce those. I think he might have done. I think he might have produced plasma balls in his laboratory like that. Might be worth having a research, see what we can find out. But it's definitely going higher. And they reckon they could last up to 2 hours and fizzle out. So yeah, not a bad little video. But I've heard stories of plasma balls or lightning, what do you call it, ball lightning, passing through windows and kitchens, hovering above tables in the UK, and simply just vanishing after a minute, blinking out. And Earl Grey, he talked about his sister's sighting where she was sleeping on a balcony, and a ball lightning passed through the fly screen mesh. You know how you sort of got those doors with the wire frame to keep the bugs out. It simply passed through it like it wasn't there, hovered above her, and then it started moving away. And so she went through the fly screen again, I think, and went towards a cornfield, and she chased it and into the cornfield, and it just hovered there, and she got up to it, watched it, and it suddenly changed, exploded, I think was the term, exploded and sort of vanished. So that would be quite a cool thing to see, wouldn't it? Whether that's natural or alien, who knows? Still people don't know, but they've seen it during big lightning storms, so it's sort of possible that it's natural, but like what they just did on this article here. So I'll just close that one down. So what's the other cool thing I seen? So yeah, I'm going to talk about these orbs that are released from UFOs, and I'm going to talk about this because it needs to be covered. But first of all, I might just look at this third phase of the moon one with the helicopter. So they put out these big long documentaries. They take snippets of it, and half an hour, you see, and for 54 minutes. So they probably get permission for people to promote them. So let's see what we can find in this orb. Oh, mute it. I need to expand the window. So we've got to find the spot. It's not at the beginning. It's about here. So they're filming this helicopter, and apparently there's little orbs. Now, if you can see them, you've got good eyesight. Normally, if they're so small, what they tend to be, they tend to be bugs or birds. So obviously this cameraman didn't notice, he was just filming the helicopter. Else he would have zoomed in on them. It's only after they review it on the big screen that they start to see things. And they're calling it a spy orb. So now we can start to see them as they zoom in. So I haven't actually cut and pasted that one, but I'll cut that one out as well, because they're saying, is it a bird? And I suspect it probably might be, but it could also be a bug. So we save that one. And we'll just carry on. Oh, unmute
But
it.
watch carefully. I'll keep showing this. See? That's the same object
Here's another one.
further up as it moves past the helicopter there.
Same one. So
you see it moving here like that, and I'll do several zoom in so that you can really see it. But there's no question, it's a little metal object. You can fully see the light refracting off of it.
So he said it's a metal object, even though he said, is it a bird with a question mark? So he hasn't done any analysis on it. He's just
It's coming slow, and you'll see. You may even mistake it for a bird, but even then, if you were to analyze it up close, you'd be able to tell it wasn't. But see right there, you can see it's definitely, it looks like one of those kind of a pea or jello mold shape UFOs, but they're tiny. I would say that that's maybe 1.5 feet in diameter at the most. Actually, just
so you can see this object almost looks like it's flying past, and if it's that close to the helicopter, I don't think it is. I think it's closer to the camera, just like a bug or a bird would be. And if you had something that close, you're going to get the downdraft of the rotor blades.
looking at that,
So it's sort of drifting this way.
I would say it's maybe,
and then there. So what I did is I cut it out previously and put it into the editor. And there's the snapshot where the one when they zoom in a wee bit further on, because it looks probably a better quality because it's brighter. And so I plugged it into filters to see if it's a real sphere shape, and straight away we start to see it seems to have very fuzzy outers, and it seems to have what they're claiming to be like a reflection of the ball itself. There, let's just zoom that one in a bit. I was saying it's a sphere, but even when you zoom it on here, it doesn't look a very defined shape. So we've got motion blur obviously happening because of the camera tech. And so when we put it through filters, that's what we get. It almost looks like something going this way and something flapping down this way. It almost looks like a bird to me. So let's it could be a white bird because the sun's reflecting off it maybe. But that's just a camera artifact that you get because you can see how much he's zoomed in. So let's just draw a line. So it looks like it's going this way, something, although it's sort of curved a wee bit. Oh, no, that's close enough. And then we got some sort of edge here happening. Another edge here. It does sort of have a bird shape to it, if you see what I mean. And if you've got flapping wings. But yeah, you can see how grainy it is, how much it's been zoomed in, individual pixels. So let's have a look at that other one. What I just snapped. Open it up. Did you hear him talking on that one? Hopefully I've got it all set up right. I haven't had anyone check out the music. I'll just play some music, tell me if it works. I think it's working. I haven't checked it out. So did you hear that? So let's go back to this one. The size. And And does that look like your orb? Because it's the same object, he said. And straight away you can see that that brightness has disappeared. Yep, use it. Cool. I thought it was working because I was looking at the LEDs. They don't move much on this thing. Like it blinks 2 lights or something like that, and it makes you wonder if it's just picking up my voice or the music. So straight away it looks like it could be a bird again. So let's do an enhancement on it. So I don't know what qualifications or skills these people have that make all these claims, but obviously they don't stick it through video editors like this and understand the cameras that they're using. He said the helicopter was flying over his house, saying they're like, I guess, Men in Black helicopter. If you want to go and listen to it, it's on Third Phase anyway. Want photo. Where is photo? There. Sharpen plus. So let's see, it should be on the same settings I used last time. So yeah, sort of brings it out a wee bit. So do that. And then we can play with the color swap. And see what we can get. Yeah, well, look at that. So as you can see, it's definitely not an orb. And it does look like it could be a bird again. We've got that sort of triangle pattern happening here. But not only that, it's happening twice, which you get with fast moving objects closer to the camera with rolling shutter. So I'll just reset that and have a play. Yeah, it's definitely not objects. So it's sort of got some different shapes happening here, which would be like flapping wings flying through the air. So yeah, I think that one's pretty much bunk. So it just goes to show how camera compression or artifacts can occur on low pixels, and you get that white sort of business happening. But you can see here, it's not a defined first object like a balloon would be. Oops. So I thought I'd just go through that one anyway. I'll post the link to that part, helicopter. Let's see. I'll copy the time so you can just go straight and watch it if you want. Although I don't like to support hoaxer channels or fraud channels that put everything out as UFOs. Yep, glad you agree. But this object here starts here, moves slowly this way, and yeah, and they obviously don't notice it with their eyes because they keep moving the camera away. It's only when they watch it on the big screen. So to me, that's a bad sign. If you see it with your eyes and you film it, then we've got something good happening. But also could have been, of course, one of those classic round Mylar balloons, which are quite common. And obviously, it's quite easy to fabricate by releasing a balloon. You get that with the balloon summoners, of course. But yeah, I thought I might just show you that one. I'm not sure if there's anything else in that video that's worth watching. Mostly talking heads, I think, as you can see by the thumbnails. So we're now going to talk about orbs that are releasing, UFOs that are releasing orbs. So first of all, I just want to recap here. flares. I've said military parachute flares burn time, and they approximately last only 5 minutes, as it says here. So if you see like a light, a red light in the sky that lasts more than 5 minutes, then you can rule out it being a military flare. So how many of these videos you watch where the light goes out before 5 minutes is kind of pointing you towards it being a military flare? So when they say, oh, 10 lights in the sky in a row, you know, to measure the time of them. And if the video goes on longer than 5 minutes, you could say you might have something that's not man-made or natural. I sort of covered that in previous lives, but just because we're going to talk about the next video from a so-called debunker called UFO Proof, who has totally ignored my comments saying it's still UFO. So I'll post it on the side as well so you can have a watch. So as usual, I thought, has he got the original links? And of course he hasn't. It's all advertising and no information, no location, time, date. But we'll have a listen to what he's saying here, and then I'll go through it. I think it's all the same one. It's meant to be the best UFO videos of 2018, and I'll just skim through it actually. So this is the first one, which is a shiny bit in the sky. I won't listen to him actually. I'll just Ukraine. So I'm not sure if it's the same one, but we'll just have a look. As you know, there's a little war happening over Ukraine at the moment with Russia and whatnot. And of course, they do a lot of military exercises, so he hasn't told you that. UFOs coming to join a cluster. So I think this is another video with a similar thing I'm going to talk about. But again, I think this is just illumination flares, a cluster of flares that have been dropped. And of course, it's not going to be more than 5 minutes, so they're going to go out before 5 minutes. See how they're sort of flickering? They almost seem like they're dropping down. And of course, if they're far enough away, you're not going to see the smoke trail. So, so just compare that on that video there with some videos of known Air Force flare drops. So here's the first one. I'll just mute it. So, and you can't see the smoke. And you can see the same flickering patterns happening. Air Force dropping flares over BMG bombing range. I think he means bombing range. So as you can see, there's not much happening. And you see that they don't last 4 to 5 minutes. This video is only 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So they slowly drop. And you can't see no smoke. And I think they eventually go out. They'll probably skim because it's pretty boring. And now he's zoomed in. And you can see the sort of flickering, but no detail. And people could easily say they're UFOs, you see. But the thing is, they're not doing any right angle turns and shooting upwards, and not doing anything strange. And I bet if you fix the camera and sort of put some next to it in the video that you can gauge the height, you can slowly see them going downwards. Like if you put a couple of bricks and filmed it. So this guy didn't actually film it long enough for it to see it fading out, but you can see here there was no smoke was the reason for that one. And this one here is another one, which is a wee bit older, I think. And Van Buren Kansas parachute flares. You can see that they're the nice bright little red ones. And this guy zooms in. But you can't see, again, it's very similar to the videos we're going to look at. So I'll just play some of this one. So he's zoomed in here and you can start to see little smoke trails. There you go. And if you zoom out far enough, you don't see the smoke. And again, you got that sort of flickering pattern happening. I think he zooms out again. Again, you can see this video is not 5 minutes long, so we're not going to see him go out probably. And now he's zoomed back out. So he's got a fairly good optical zoom on his camera there. So he's seeing little lights way off in the distance, and he just zooms right in. Gets the smoke trail, which is pretty amazing camera he's got. So that was, what year was that one? 2007. So it's probably, what's that one, Pentax or Sony DSLR one with a 25 or 50 times zoom on it. So let's go back to secure team, not secure teams, the UFO proof team video, which looks very similar to these dots that we just saw in the other video. There's no way flares, he's saying there. I'll just
possibly they could be in formation, but it doesn't appear to be moving. So unless it's a formation of Harrier jets, which I doubt the Ukraine own, you know, a group of helicopters, and helicopters are returning to it and then leaving from it, and they're just sitting up there for no reason.
So what do you think on that one, Jamal? Are you agreeing with me? That's probably just illumination flares with parachutes on.
Seems highly unlikely. Look, now we got another one coming in. Look at it going behind the clouds. Look at this. I mean, does that look like a helicopter or anything? Where are the navigation lights on it? If it's a plane or a helicopter, where are the navigation lights? Where are the red and green lights to tell you what direction?
You won't see it if it's too far away.
It's an emergency beacon. You know, that's.
You don't see them. You don't. I watch planes come in airport all the time, and you don't see the red and green lights. Not until it's right overhead, or if you've got a camera with telescopic, obviously.
Flash and strobe. Where are all these things that normal everyday aircraft?
So where did that light disappear to? So that other one probably was a jet or a helicopter light that we just saw. It didn't come towards these lights here. So
look at it just shitting out another one.
So this will be the same as the next one too, because the next one starts dropping them as well. So what happens is they're called cluster flares, where they drop a whole group of them together. And what they do is they use them for target practice. And they see when they've hit something, because what happens is they shoot the flare, the parachute off, and of course it starts zipping fast down towards the ground. So they can count how many hits they get with ground artillery and also like a machine gun on a plane to see how accurate they are. So it's used for practice firing.
Look at it go behind the clouds. That's fucking cool, dude.
Now, it's not just me that's saying these are flares, because I did some research
are like a cluster of objects,
on it.
I believe. I don't think it's a single.
So it's a cluster of flares, not objects. And if we move on, I think this is a different footage coming up here.
There's another video. Also.
Another video, yep. In Ukraine,
you can see
where there's a war going on.
This is a really, really interesting video. Over in the corner, you can see I have the full screenshot of it, and then I have the zoomed in one on the big screen so you guys can get a better idea of what's going on. But like these orbs just appear to be lighting up and then falling.
Now this guy's meant to be the king of debunkers, in his own words. So what happened is, he'll zoom in on it. But he makes a big story up saying, oh, this is just like this 1651 event that we talked about a couple of streams back, where they had orbs in the sky, thousands of orbs in the sky, and talks about triangle UFO.
Don't act like flares at all. This is insane. I mean, look how they're moving.
Okay, you can see it.
They're all in one spot. Two, they're over a city.
They're not over a city. You know how it's not over the city, because they're miles off near the mountain range there. Let's have a look. Here's the shot of. He's got this thing up in the corner here, which is in the way. But yeah, it's not. I think it's way off at the edge of the city, not over the city. But then again, they were fighting in the city, weren't they? So it's possible that they were dropping flares over the city where they're occupied and shoot ground cannons at it to sort of calibrate their weapons. And when that drops down, it's when they hit a parachute.
Which it makes no sense to light flares over a city, because you light flares in areas where there's no light. And obviously, unless you're fucking blind, you can see the city is full of lights. I mean, it's it's got a glow to it because of all the city lights. So
it's a bit of a shame you never did any research on it.
Why would they even be launching flares over it in the first place? And why are some falling faster than others? Apparently, these flares
just explained it.
Means nothing to them.
Because they're using it for target practice.
You know, they would all be falling at the same rate, but they don't. Some fall faster than others. I mean, it's insane. Now, I started to mess with the colors. Like I started to adjust the colors so we could try to pull out the objects a lot more and get a better view of them. Like I'll start to darken it and adjust the contrast and everything, so you can really see what's really going on here. I mean, look how much the city is lit up. There's no reason for them to be dropping flares over it. And
unless they've got guns on the roof of the high rises that they're shooting flares at for target practice.
And now it appears to be just one object now, like 3 or 4. Look at this. You know, what kind of flare lights up for a second and then goes out? Why are these going out if these are flares? Why are they going out? They just lit up. That doesn't make any sense.
It does, because if they dropped it at the back of the plane when the plane flew off, then if they fired it from the ground and hit it first shot, it'd go out. But it's also possible that it didn't light properly. It was a flare failure. They do happen, where it didn't actually ignite properly. So it does look like they're getting a few hits here.
flare. This
So
is
they're probably
obviously
aiming
a
at the
flare.
bottom ones. And bang, 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 drops, drop, drop.
And look how these things like flash on their way down. Some are really bright, some are super dim. And as I adjusted the saturation of the colors, you can really see that a lot of these orbs start to change colors.
They look pretty red to me.
And you got to take other UFO cases, like take the Benchwaters case, or where Colonel Hoyt was running around with a tape recorder, saying that he sees what appears to be like a red eye that's blinking at them and dripping some stuff off of it. There's another UFO video that I had posted in the early days of UFO Proof, at the very beginning, of an LA helicopter, a police helicopter, filming a UFO that just appears to be just dripping just balls and balls of something off of it. And I believe this is the same thing. And I just recently posted it.
Also, I think they can delay the ignite time. So the plane could drop like 20, 30 of them all in the same area and fly away. And then they could start self-igniting after a delay, which is probably what's happened here. And then they start firing at them when they get the planes out the way. But you can't see the smoke because it's too far away. But if you had a look at the other video here, where before he zooms in, it looks very similar. It sort of has that smudgy look to him. See, it has that sort of glow around it. Yes. I was trying to pause it. Does it autoplay? Okay. So it has that sort of same glow as what this one does, but he's played around with the colors here. So what I did is I obviously did some research on it. So he said Ukraine, and we haven't got any dates or anything on it, or the city. I don't think he said the city name. So I did a search and I found the same video here. Mysterious UFO dropping light orbs over Ukraine. And now we got a date, 23rd of February, and this was posted on February the 25th, so that must be this year. So I did a bit more search using that information, and I started finding newspaper things. But I'll just play a wee bit of this one just to show it's the same one. It hasn't been zoomed in like the other one has, but you can see it's the same sort of cluster. It hasn't been brightened, so they're not as bright as well. But you can see they're miles away from the cameraman. And you can see the city here down the bottom. So you can see this is the original footage. So yeah, he's definitely zoomed in and whatnot. So this comes from various UFO channels, obviously. Did no analysis on it. Called it UFOs. And Third Face put it up. And of course, the next search I found with the dates and whatnot was this one here. Sunday Express, alien mothership, huge object seen releasing orbs. Releasing UFOs over city in bizarre video. And it's the same one. I don't know if I can play it or not. Looks like it's stuffed up. I have to load the page again. But it is the same video. I got some stills from it, as you can see. So you can see how far away it is, and this is zoomed in. And doesn't look like it's over the city when you look at the size of those lights. I think it's on a mountain edge here, and that's the other side of the mountain range where they're using for target practice myself. But it could easily be guns on top of high rises as well. But basically what happened is I went through here and I found UFO interest, had already debunked it. This cluster of lights suddenly appeared in the sky above village of Novogranska in the southern western Ukraine are not UFOs, but were targets, parachuted flares used during military drill involving Ukraine Marines, confirmed by their spokesman. So there you go. And of course, here's another video at a different perspective for another time. Actually, it's another time, I think, showing similar thing happening in the same location. So I think that one's pretty much busted then, if Scott Day thinks the same as me about it. But I thought, oddly enough, I've actually seen this done at a public event where they simulate it dripping. And what they do is, there's been two versions of it. They have like a Hercules with the men in the back of the Hercules plane. I think, what do they call it? C-180 or something. Is it? Hang on, let me search for that. Let's see if I got my facts right. Transport carrier. Is it Hercules? Plane, maybe. Hercules. I'm not sure how you spell it. Hercules plane. Let's see. C-130. Is that what I said? There you go. My memory's not that gone. Old age is kicking in. So it opens up at the back, and they can drop jeeps and even tank out the back of it, can't they? Transport carrier, isn't it? CL100 Hercules. Maybe it's that one. I don't know. What's the difference? Different sizes. I'm pretty sure that's the one. It has a thing that opens up at the back, isn't it? Is that the back end? Can't quite see. That's the front end, isn't it? Oh, there you go. The back opens up. Here we go. Finally got a picture. They're quite wide, as you can see. We get a lot of those flying into New Zealand here. They normally load up with supplies before they fly down to Antarctica. You know, all those car containers that you see that they said was a what do you call it, UFO under the ice there that they're sort of digging up. They're saying that their containers were underground tunnels or something, entrances on third phase, was it? So I guess these planes have been around since Vietnam, isn't it? There you go, dropping supplies at the back. So that's a good shot. So I've seen that on displays like that. What happens is in Australia they've got ECA. I'm not sure if you've been over there, whether they still do it or not. So what they do is they get the Air Force to fly in, and what they've done is they've put all these fireworks or flares that give a lot of sparks off, and they put LEDs on it and stuff, and it looks just like a comet entering the Earth's atmosphere, and it's really creepy, and it's slowly moving across the sky. It looks just like a Halley's Comet coming into the atmosphere, and you think, oh yeah, we're all going to die. And then you start seeing bits of the comet break away, and it's like these skydivers. They got a load of skydivers that jump out with flares on them, and it looks like the bits are flying off the comet. It's a really good display. And of course, they come down and land, and people cheer and all that sort of stuff. But there's another thing they do as well with this, this like the flares here. They have like a platform that they put all these flares, remote-controlled flares, to release for a fireworks display, and they put the helium balloon up there, and they make it look like it's lit up with LEDs, and then they start dropping the flares, and triggering a remote trigger, so they light up or explode, and it just sort of looks like a UFO in the sky that's dripping. So I know they can do it with fireworks and pyrotechnics and remote control, and it's a thing to go and see. But these ones obviously are what Scott Brando has said, and if that's his best videos for 2018, I think we've got a really sad year of UFOs that have been filmed in that case. I think even a couple live streams back, we come across one that looked even more like a UFO, which I swear was still another bird. That's just motion blur, but Robert sort of was disagreeing with me. He said, well, it's still a possibility it could be a UFO, but that's probably one of the better ones we've seen on MUFON. So what do you reckon on that? Yeah. So I've debunked a debunker this time rather than look at secure team. But I think he carries on here, talks about them being just like the 1651 event in Germany. Here we go. I'll just play this bit. I thought it was kind of hilarious how he's sort of getting people to imagine it.
Fighting with each other. I mean, look, it looks like they could be up there fighting with each other, and then some are getting knocked down. And in the broadsheet, they describe how these things battle with each other and some flying down to the ground. And look at this. And then we see this site. Could it not be that the people in Nuremberg, Germany in 1561 saw something just like this and reported it, along with a giant black flying triangle and black spheres, which I know for a fact exist? Look at these. Where are all these coming from? If this was a flip.
So that's another thing. The reason we can tell that's not a UFO is because UFOs don't do that. They don't simply just go in one direction towards ground and not come back up. If that was like a mothership releasing orbs or little tiny UFOs, it doesn't fit it being a UFO, does it? An alien craft. They're flying down here, and then they go out. Or they hit the ground and go out. They're not sort of being released and then zooming off in all different directions. If I saw that, then I'd say he's onto something, but there's no way. It's definitely flares being dropped. Hey, David, how's it going? So, yeah, I'm debunking UFO Proof, another debunker. Well, he claims to be a debunker, but he works with Secure Team 10 and Third Phase of the Moon now. So when I saw this video and he's making all this story up, saying it's like the old ancient times, if they had flares in the ancient times, they would be crapping their pants, I'm sure. When were fireworks? When did fireworks first come out? That's a good question, actually. Fireworks first invented. I think that would have been back in the days of cannons, 1651. But yeah, if you saw that dropping from the sky and exploding before airplanes, fireworks invented. I can't even type. Invented by accident, maybe, I don't know. Fireworks invented. Let's have a look. Have been around for centuries and believed to have been invented by Chinese, a Chinese document from about 1040. So they've been around for a while. So if they had that dropping from the skies as fireworks, I guess it's possible that they saw something like that happening. Maybe they haven't seen Chinese fireworks. But the thing is, they invented gunpowder, but did they invent fireworks that go out in the sky? It's not too clear there, is it? Fireworks, rockets, maybe? I know we did have cannons, but if you shoot a cannon, they're not sort of like fiery unless you didn't the British put what is it, tar on them and set it on fire and then fire it into the villages, into the castles. So I guess it's possible, you know, that it was some sort of war happening with the fiery cannonballs being shot, but definitely not UFOs. So yeah. Hercules. So this moves us on. I don't think there was any more in his video. And this is his next famous video. So we'll have a look at it anyway, since we debunked the other ones. Oh, what's happened? Let's go back a bit. So what are we looking at?
You seeing that shit? I mean, how fucking cool would that be? I mean, imagine if you were there and you saw that shit out your fucking window. Like that shit was just happening in your backyard, you know? Say you were that building, right?
Oh, I forgot he swears a lot. He was doing pretty good without the F word. So we might have to mute him. Carry on. I wonder if he's going to swear from now on. Let's give it a try. I don't like swearing, especially. So we're looking at this little thing up here, I guess. I wonder if he's going to zoom in on it. What's this here? Tram lines above?
Yo,
so
from the Ukraine. Look at these objects flying through the sky. This isn't daylight. Look at this.
Birds. Yep.
Watch it. Look at this triangle formation coming. This is
triangle.
Crazy.
There's the triangle.
These objects just come floating by.
A seagull floating by.
What are these things?
Birds.
They're obviously not Chinese lanterns. They're not lit up.
Well, they're obviously birds. Maybe I should zoom in on some of them. So we just did one of these orb ones before, and we showed it was possibly a bird. So because of the graphics is so low, we get camera artifacts and compression, and you get this typical white glow around objects because of the video compression. But also, I don't know if I can zoom in, you also get this shiny sort of blobby thing that's sort of obviously the colors have been mucked around with it on this video. You can see how pixelated it is.
Look at that. All right,
look, it's changing black now.
But I mean, look at these objects. These are like, excuse me, these are like little spheres just floating through the sky.
So that was flying upwards.
Personally, I have had encounters.
I still think it's bird.
One so close that I could touch it.
It's a bird.
Now this is another one.
Okay, so now we're going on to ghost orbs here, but we'll have a look at that one. What's sucking up water? Yeah, he swears too much for my liking. Yeah, there have been cases of dripping metal, but a lot of that's been debunked. Like the angel here, which has turned out to be spider webs, and just see what Jamal was saying. And also, no one's actually collected any of that metal apart from that one guy, wasn't it? That had sort of like a cone-shaped one. Said he found it in off a UFO on a highway out to Area 51, was it? I can't remember what it was called now. But I'm not sure what the facts on that particular case was, whether they determined it to be something special, like, because it looked like something from an aluminium, or what they call it, aluminum, as Americans call it, a smelter, where it's been melted down and dripped. But it is possible that they have a lot of bits drop off planes apparently, especially even fighter jets. They have bits and pieces full of fighter jets all the time. People find it, and it's sort of like metal that they use on secret planes, even some of it. And it does look alien technology because it fell off a plane. So, yeah. But if you can find a case of this dripping metal, because the Maury Island one was also suspect. We covered that quite a few lives back as well, quite in a lot of detail actually. So let's have a look at this next one. I think this one was more interesting, but it could still be a bug on IR light, of course. Let's have a look.
This is interesting. I wanted to put this out because my man Snooch actually has a video similar to this. Now look at these. Here. Watch how it like basically teleports, boom, into this other one. And this object appears to have some beam of light that's coming down from it.
I think it's a spider on the lens myself. What do you think on that one?
The only reason we're picking this up is because whatever this is infrared reactive.
There's a bug on the lens.
It like you know, like
the thing will look like they're crawling along, like they're sort of on legs to me.
You know, this could be one of those other orbs that we just seen that, you know, come down and actually go and investigate stuff. It's like going around gathering information and collecting data.
Yeah, that's
to
just
bring
a bug.
back to its masters.
So where's this beam? Because that could be a piece of web, of course.
But I think it's really, really interesting. And we'll get
it doesn't even look like an orb now. It looks like it's got legs or something sticking out the back.
Also has some kind of a halo around it. And it makes you think.
This guy's a good storyteller. So, yeah, it's just BS, I think. And because it fades, it's because it jumps off or whatever, jumps to the floor on a thread or whatever. I see it on my security cameras all the time. What do you think on those ones, guys? Crawling insect, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see a UFO suck up water. I think some of them were what they call water spouts, wasn't it, out to sea? And someone said like it was like orb flying around the water spout. But that turned out to be just a seagull. So I think that was even on secure team. But yeah, so that's UFO proof. Best of UFOs debunked anyway. And how many subs has he got now? So he got 300 views on that, and he's still sitting around about 10k subs. So yeah, I don't think too much of it. I thought he would do a lot better job than that. So we'll just close that tab and move on to the next bit. So we used that one as well, so that one can go. And this article here, I'll post down the side, debunking the flares dropping. So it took a wee bit of searching to pin that. It took about an hour searching because I didn't have all the facts and the dates and stuff. But once you got the right keywords and things, it popped up straight away, pretty much, in the searches. I think the date must be in the video here somewhere. So that was on Blake Cousins. Whatever it is, it's spitting out UFOs. Yeah. So that's a bit of a shame that UFO Proof would use some rubbish that Third Phase on the Moon put up, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, people can get fooled quite easily by that. I think there was a date there somewhere, so I must have picked it up on the second search. And as I said, if you want to debunk those, if a UFO video, if the light goes out within 5 minutes, you know it's a flare. So that's a magic sort of fact there that you need to keep an eye on. I probably should even bookmark that search because I use that time and time again to prove to people. Eventually, you can find out as well. Military events, and they often list the dates and nights they do practice. So sometimes it's a bit hard to find it on Google though. So we looked at this one here, which was quite interesting, and you see no smoke, you see, but their flares coming down. And that would be an even better UFO video than some rubbish that I've seen lately. But this guy's honest, and he said it's dropping flares, so we can close that one. And here's another one with the flares, and again you can't see the smoke unless you zoom right in. And so we can close that one as well. And that brings us to another one. This time it's Secure Team from, was it 2013 or something like that? 2015. UFO releases half a dozen mini orbs during jaw-dropping phenomenon in the skies above Mexico. So maybe we can play that. I don't know. Click play. Let's have a look. Don't want no sound though. It's muted, so that's all right. I can't make it bigger, can I? I don't want to muck it up. So here's the orb in the sky, and obviously the motion is artificial. People moving the camera because we've got no reference point. So you notice that this one here looks more of a bright round orb structure compared to those other ones that looked a bit black and had like a little white patch on it, which are definitely birds or insects, blue phase as they're called. And eventually this one releases other little bits, and we'll see what happens in a minute. Hopefully. Goes on a bit. Not sure what that black line was going across there. Is it in a car and they're driving? Oh, here you go, it's starting to lose bits. Now, what do you think that is, guys? Do you think that's a UFO? Well, you can say no because that logo's there, but I don't know if they got any zoom-ins. Oh, there's one. And a zoom in, it's sort of not actually an orb, is it? It's sort of like a tear shape. So what objects have tear shapes, do you know of? Well, there's only one I really know about, and that's balloons. A weather balloon has a tear shape. So if you type in weather balloon, and they're pretty white, and the sun lights them up pretty well too. So let's get some picture of weather balloon. So the question is, why would a weather balloon be releasing smaller balloons? So I'll get to that in a minute. So here's some weather balloons. So it kind of looks like this one here straight away on the first one. It's got that same sort of tear shape. Well, look at it here on the picture. It's got that sort of same shape, slightly pear shape. So there's like a comparison straight away. But you do get some other high altitude balloons as well, which are like this clear one here, which have a long thing underneath, but we can't see a long thing underneath. So it's more likely to be one of these that has a little string and a box underneath, which we're not seeing on the video because it's too far away. But it looks like it could be some little black dots at the bottom there. So have we got any other snaps where it explodes? So those bits here is where it finally gets too high and explodes, and it rips all the little bits rip apart. You can see it's not orbs, but it's various sizes of material that's ripped apart. I don't know if I've got any more here. And I think even some clever people down the bottom here in the comments had picked up on that by looking at it. Let's have a look. Anybody ever watched a weather balloon explode? No? Yep, you just did. So there we go. Bingo, we have a winner. 2017 billions of cameras. So it must have been from 2017, not 2015, I said. Billions of cameras in the world. We only get a person that uses a potato to take a photograph. Well, it wasn't that bad. I've seen a lot worse videos. Aircraft or missile firing flares. No, it's not. So, yeah, so there we go. Someone actually captured what happens to a weather balloon when it gets too high up. They must have had a very good zoom on their camera, because that would have been a fair distance up. And of course, they exploded. So what do you think on that one, guys? You think that's nailed? Yep, the sun sort of illuminates those the white ones. So I'm pretty much covered what I was going to cover tonight. It's always coming up to 2 hours, but I can do some more extras. How are we going for time? Midnight. Oh, I suppose Jamel will be going to bed. So I might just post that one down the side there if you want to have a look at it again. And since I used it for my presentation, it's only fair to give them some links back. Now, how do you find these presentations? Are you finding that me debunking is boring and you don't want to know about all these sort of things? And because Robert's saying I do too much debunking, and I don't think I do. I think I mix it up. I do a bit of debunking, and I talked about other things as well, where possible. Like I talked about Planet 9 earlier, so I think I mix it up pretty much. You know, someone has to debunk the viral videos like this out here, else no one will learn to be skeptical. So a lot of people would think that was a UFO suddenly breaking apart into multiple UFOs and flying off, but actually they didn't fly off. They simply stopped filming, didn't they? They sort of disappeared as it shot downwards, I guess. Probably have to watch it again, but I think that's not the full video because it's a newspaper site. But anyway, you can have a watch of it again. It's on the side tab. Yep, you think it's good? I think we might have lost Jamal. Is he gone? So there are some high altitude weather balloons too, which are big like this, big teardrops, which go up really, really high. And of course, Google had their own sort of balloon they were experimenting that were going to fly around at the high altitude and bounce internet signals from it, so they could have, rather than using satellites, they're going to use balloons. But I'm not sure what's happened to that project. I can't remember what it was called either. But even this one here, you can see is silver. That's going to cause a lot of reflection. Oh no, it's a 3D model. 3D model. So that's could be used to fake, I guess. So here's all the same weather balloons, high altitude balloons, and straight away we can see here's a picture from a weather balloon with camera, and you can see that the Earth has some curvature because you can only see the Earth's curvature when you get up to a certain altitude, and it's very slight, as you see, unless you get really far away from the planet, like go to the moon. But we also know that the world is a circle, because when we get a solar eclipse, the sun puts its shadow across the moon and we see it's round. So all these flat earthers, I just don't know what's in their heads. So here you've got another one, weather balloon, data logger, another angle looking at the sun, and you can see the curvature of the earth. So that must be almost like bursting point up there. So that would be like those high altitude weather balloons, not one of these things here probably. What's that with a running shoe? Fly Nike, must be from a TV ad. So I always wonder why people don't sort of mount a camera onto one of these type balloons and prove to themselves on their own equipment that the Earth is curved, and then it solves the problem. I know some schools get permission to launch. I think you have to have permission to launch a balloon because it flies up into airplane flying altitude. Anyway, I better move on. Hang on, I just need a drink. So yeah, it's been a pretty good night. We sort of covered a wee bit there. So I think I might just finish off looking at some other stuff. So here was the orb I looked at previously that you missed there, David. And you can see here it's sort of got this whispery edge to it. So it's not a solid object. It's actually just an artifact from camera compression because it's so small. And I put it through a filter here, and that wasn't it. And we started getting this black sort of triangle type shape coming up, which is obviously a bird, and this is just a bit of camera artifact from flare of the bird. Maybe sensors overloaded, the CMOS sensors, but it also could be some compression. You can see here how grainy and pixels occurred. So I did that one from their image. Zoom normal from the image there, which is obviously not the source image, and it's not going to be the best quality, but we have to use what we got to work with. But you can see here there is the sun reflecting off this object here. So the sun's going to be reflecting off the bird as well. And they're saying it's a sphere UFO, of course. And we took another frame before it flew behind the helicopter, was that one here. You can see here it's definitely not a sphere, and it's definitely got some like motion of wings flapping there. But that was on Third Face if you want to go and watch it. So let's have a look at some UFO stalkers, see what's happening there. I haven't actually debunked any secure team tonight. I thought I'd leave him alone, but I don't think he's put out anything new lately. Let's have a quick look. I think I pretty much covered his stuff. Yeah. So that was the balloon one, hot air balloon one, being a forklift. So yeah, he hasn't put out anything new in 2 days. So what's happening on UFO Stalker? So straight away we've got a photograph here. Hidden in the clouds. California. Now, unfortunately, California, I think around about there it's on fire, isn't it, at the moment? Los Angeles. Apparently a transformer exploded and set a tree on fire, and because they've not had so much rain there, it caused some ashes to fly off and land elsewhere in grass and stuff, and cause a massive fire there. And apparently Bill from MUFON, because he works as a nurse, apparently his boss's place got burnt down there. So yeah, he said it was pretty scary. He hasn't seen anything like it. So I suppose if you've got flames all around you and choking smoke, people don't realise how dangerous it is because it can knock you out. And if you think you can jump in a car and drive away, you got to remember fires suck all the oxygen out around the neighbourhood, and you find the car won't start very well without oxygen. So, and you won't breathe too well if you locked yourself in a car, because you'd have to block off all the air vents and stuff and make sure there's no smoke. So yeah, so it's a bit sad that some people got killed because they weren't prepared enough, I guess. You know, you normally have a bug out bag. In New Zealand, we have preparation for earthquakes now. We've got torches everywhere and food stored outside and water, of course. So what do we got here? Good to see you here, mate. So good work, Paul. I'm going to donate some money to support your channel in the near future. Who was that? Oh, Jamal. Okay, thanks, mate. Yeah, just patron, even $1 a month is the minimum you can do. And you can get access to other videos that's not public as well. And so, and hopefully, if you donate enough, I will also include you into random Merc. I'll send some vouchers your way to get some T-shirts and stuff in time, hopefully. At the moment, I'm trying to replace my gear, so at the moment I haven't got any extra money to throw at it. But I have had a few people send money that don't use PayPal or anything, that they don't trust the internet. So I sent them a T-shirt back to say thank you. So they got something out of it. And they're sort of like my long-term fan, but they don't actually come on the channel. They sort of, they actually download it and they rip it, which I'm not upset about, of course, but he takes along and all the UFO group watch it at their club or something, apparently. Well, he's an ex-Marine, so they're from Vietnam. He's about 64, I think. So, yeah, it was good for him to send some money. But I have spent like $1,000 on this project, keeping it going. I bought bits and pieces. So, yeah, so money hasn't been the goal, of course, but because I'm interested in it myself, and I also learn as I sort of learn new things and how to analyze stuff. So what are they saying here? I was leaving the garage when noticed some rays of light which seemed strangely short. The more I looked, I realized they seemed to be something in the clouds, but very slight and difficult to see with the naked eye. So straight away we're going to know it's going to be a few pixels that we've got to look on the camera. So I captured this guy in a pic within a couple of days. I recall that I needed to check and enhance the light and blah blah blah. So let's have a look at the picture. It looks like it's upside down, which we get sometimes. And like I said, if we can see something strange in this, we're going to need to do a lot of zooming. Looks like clouds to me, but let's see what else he's got. No, hang on. Oh yeah, so he's done some editing. Light descending seem to be a little different. So yeah, is he seeing what we call a light pillar or a sundog, where the light refracts through ice crystals in the cloud itself and can cause all these strange sort of things. So it's like that 1651 UFO case, of course, where it makes patterns in the sky. Oh, what's he done here? strange color filter he's used here. So he's trying to say that's a UFO there with strange lights underneath. Is that what he's saying? Well, so what do you think MUFON will do with that one? I think it's just natural. I don't think it's worth mucking around with that one. So we'll move on. Try and find something more interesting. Oh, we've got some black triangles. I always like to look at those. We're still yet to see one that I believe is a real black triangle on film. And again, during lunar eclipse. So these are old photographs just added 1985. And no photograph, I mean, just a story. So that's no good to us. Oregon. It's a strange map. As you zoom in, we get more UFOs. That doesn't make any sense to me. See that? Oh. They disappear when you go out too far. So what's this one? We've got a photograph here. Object moves slowly. So let's have a look at that one. And we're dealing with a little speck of light in the sky. So what's he saying? I was walking across a parking lot. I always keep an eye up, ready. Encounter with a UFO along with other people. In this case, the object caught my attention and was the first time I had the opportunity to grab my phone and record the object. So let's have a look. Looks like he's recorded in portrait though. Do you need PayPal? Who needs PayPal? Yeah, I've had PayPal for a long time. I buy stuff with it from China, but now I just use a credit card, my MasterCard. So I've got a bit of debt on the MasterCard that I keep paying off. That's how you live nowadays. Unless, because you can't save up enough to buy something straight off. You buy it on MasterCard and pay off a wee bit. So he's got some photograph stills here. And almost looks a wee bit red, doesn't it? So let's save it and zoom in, see what we can see on it. Did Jamal log off? Because I'm only seeing one on the main screen. Oh yeah, he said good night. Oh yeah, he's dropped off. Okay, good night, mate. Is it still there? Let's update this. It should say 1. It's a bit glitchy, isn't it? Now it says 1. So let's have a quick zoom in of this photograph. Well, it sort of doesn't look like a constant shape, does it? Looks like it's got 2 black bits on it here. Yeah, it looks like it's got motion blur maybe, or artifacts around the outside here. Kind of looks like it could be another Mylar balloon to me. So we can load it up in the proper editor. Which one was it? that one. And cut around it. Paste in a new image and scale it right up. Resize 1280. It's generally what I do. Right, so there we go. We can start to see pixels down to the pixel level now. So could it be a character balloon? Looks like it's got a bit of stuff coming in here. Could it be two eyes and a mouth? Don't look like a UFO. And try some color swap. Still has those dark patches there. So it's going to be a very hard one to tell. It's kind of looking like a Milo balloon character of some sort, or a Milo balloon that's sort of deflated and it's got something printed on it. So get a video here, so let's see if we can play it. Okay, I'm not sure if you're going to hear it. I don't think you do, so is that it? That's an amazing video. No, it's got to be more than that, surely. 6 seconds. No. So it's there. It's a couple of dots.
That's good.
It's still loading. Well, that wasn't much of a video, mate. In fact, that stupid pause button's in the way. How do we get rid of the pause button? Well, I think we have to download it and do it properly, but yeah, I think that button's in the way. It's up here, I think.
That's good.
Oh well. So I don't think we're going to do much with that one either, David. So this is what I mean. We never find any decent UFO stuff. So what MUFON will do, they'll plug it into Plane Finder like that and rule out plane, of course. And of course it won't show up because it'll be a balloon. So let's so that was out in Nevada. And as you saw on the software, it doesn't show more unless we zoom in. But there's one that's got a photograph, so let's have a look at that one. New Mexico. And it's a video. And doesn't say much. Where's the description? Here. This object in the sky stationary for a long time, still there. And it's also filmed in our famous portrait, which we hate. So, and he didn't take any photographs, which he should do, because you take a photograph as well, even if the object's disappeared. So it's got a picture of the location, but also it'll have metadata to prove to MUFON that the date and time was correct and all that sort of stuff. Because people get it wrong sometimes. They might be 15 minutes out, which changes everything, because in 15 minutes a plane could fly past, you see. And the videos don't have that sort of extra information that JPEG images have. So if we hit play on that one, we'll probably have to download it before it play. And I can't see any object myself. Again, we're probably talking about a pixel UFO. Is that it? Oh no, it's still downloading. It's downloading into browser cache, I think. But I can't see any object so far. I can see a mountain range and some grass. And that must be the end. Good filming. Not very good filming. So see, it's frustrating. This video is useless. I'm not seeing anything. I can't see any object at all, not even a bird. Looks a bit dusty there, doesn't it? Look, it's got a little wind dust blowing off, causing that sort of orange streak in the sky. Maybe he's talking about the streaks, I don't know. What was the comment again? Object in the sky, stationary. Well, we didn't see any object, so stationary objects. Unless it's under the play button, which could be, I suppose. But we should see it now because it's moved. So I don't know. Not much we can do with that, and I think MUFON won't be able to do much with that either. They'll close it as not enough information. So what do you think on that one? Do you want me to send you the link so you can have a watch yourself? Yeah, I'll post the link down the side if you want. See if you can spot something. If you do, let us know later. You might have a better screen than I've got. You might need to see it on a 55-inch TV or something. So let's keep looking. Someone might have something decent. Black triangle, any photograph? Nope, no photograph. No photograph. You can see how many reports the MUFON gets that don't even have any video evidence. At least only one in about 5 probably have video or photograph. So this is New York. So and it's a video. And what did they say? Did you see it have a comment? No, that's not it. Recorded through window. So straight away we're going to have reflections. Is this another person that's trying to prank MUFON? Oh, it looks like it opens up to a big screen too. Yeah. Filmed through a window. Two planes passing. I think I can hear planes in the background on that one. Oh, a helicopter. Oh, now I can hear two cars, I think. Are they filming two cars on the motorway? What do you think on that one? That's another one we can't do much with, you see. Just blobs in the sky. Apart from plugging it into Plane Finder, which is probably frustrating. I got a 62. What's that? 62. The last case was 96262. Oh, 62-inch TV. I gotcha. Oh, there you go. Well, that would have cost you a penny, wouldn't it? I suppose it's old technology now. What's the biggest screen you can get now? 80-inch? You want to have a whole side of a room that's just a TV screen. Years ago, they were talking about polymers, LCD screen, like it rolls up. You can roll it out, so you can actually roll it out like a poster, pin it on the wall, and then connect a USB thing into it and actually have a video on the thing. I thought that was a good idea. Now you could take it on holiday and you could have any size screen you want and take on camping even and just stretch it out on between two trees or something and have a large screen. But I'm not sure what happened to that technology. Maybe it had some problems. They were talking about using it on clothing even to do advertising, like art patterns on the front and back, and you can put it in the washing machine and it would have a waterproof silicon chip with some memory on it, and it would rotate to different art pictures. Sounds quite a good idea. A lot of artistic people probably like that sort of idea. Hey Renee, how's it going? But I'm asleep. Well, that's no good. Well, don't come on here if you want to sleep. That's kind of silly. Yeah, we're just going through some UFO Stalker at the end of the night, but you'll probably like what I did at the front of the stream tonight, so have a watch of it later. We debunk a debunker known as UFO Proof. We looked at all his best UFOs for 2018, and I'm pretty sure I got all of them debunked, so we're just trying to find some really good UFO photographs on MUFON, which UFO Stalker accesses to make it easier to find stuff. And so far, we've done 4 videos, and they all suck, like pixel UFOs. So here's another one. They come outside, saw 3 sets of glowing something. What's it saying? Glowing, whatever they are. Okay. And it's a nighttime one. There you go, another one that smokes. Came outside around 6:50 p.m. for a cigarette. Noticed 2 trails that looked like it came from a plane, but they weren't so long as the trails of plane would make. It was very dark, so it sounds like a plane gone trail already, doesn't it? And of course, they vary in different colors, from white to orange to brown to red to grey to even black. So depends what the sunset's doing or whereabouts the sun is. So let's have a look. Yeah. So what have we got here? These streaks in the sky here, but it's what we got some Hell's flights. So could be a meteorite, I guess. It could be a plane. So where is it there? Is it this thing we're talking about? I don't know. Doesn't look like any UFO though, does it? Unfortunately. Here we go. We got so he zoomed right into this white thing here. So let's save that one and let's zoom in ourselves. Save image and have a better look. So what have you been up to, Rene? Working hard? Did it save? Yep. So what have we got? Kind of looks like a SpaceX smudge, doesn't it? Clearly not a UFO. I suppose it could be a plane contrail that's sort of broken up. So again, not a very exciting UFO video, is it? What do you think it might be? An unidentified. Yeah, I suppose that's what you'd call it. I think it's natural. I think it's just water vapor. Could have been like a meteorite punched through a hole in the cloud and caused a wee bit of a smoke trail. And of course that can hang up in the sky until it breaks up. So yeah, it's undescribed, I suppose. So let's keep looking for a wee while. I can go on a bit longer. So let's have a look. What's up here? A photograph, good. And what is it? Cubic object. 9th of the 11th, so it's current. So let's have a look. It's a video and portrait again. You know how much I hate portrait videos, and it's all in French. And that's one thing he needs to add. He needs to add a translator. Google Translate. I wonder how much we can do. I suppose that'll do. What's funny though, it's got English words in here, so it's not making any sense. Hang on. Has he done French and English? Looks like he has. I'm a trucker. I was coming back from blah blah. So that must be what that says up there. Saint Pierre. Attention was attracted by an object in the sky. The more approached, more believed a kite that would have been on the beach. Normally your first instinct is correct. So if I put that through Google Translate, does that say the same thing? Yep, it does too. I'm a trucker. Could that be that they've auto-translated it and put it in the same comment? Maybe they are. If so, why didn't they put a line in between? Well, anyway, let's have a look at the video. There's a big truck, isn't it? We're seeing the objects. Is that all we got? Oh, no, still going. Not seeing anything here. What's going on? Still looking. These guys actually get much like you do on this website. So here's the objects. Kind of looks like a fucking airplane. So we finally got to see it. Let's zoom in. Right, it looks like a minimum, like a, what do you call it? Minion air balloon where it has a character balloon. Let's see if we can take a photograph of it. Or has he got a photograph? No. That's a point. How can I take a photograph in full screen? I haven't got the toolbar. I could download it. Let's see, I got a snip tool from Microsoft. I can try that. It's this thing that comes with Windows. It's called the snipping tool. And it allows you to cut also rectangles. Well, that'll do. And then you can save it. So we've now got a copy of it. And we can zoom in. So you're learning lots from me here. And you can normally find it in the under Windows accessories, I think. So there you go. Starting to look like it's got something dangling down here. Does look like a balloon, doesn't it? Let's put it through the proper editor. But you can see how many pixels we're working with here, so the quality is not going to be good. What am I doing? Okay, it's a wee bit better. I think it might need to be zoomed in a bit more though. I think I can see a cable coming down this way though. Maybe you can check on the full video again, see if we can see a line coming down. What am I doing? Copy, copy, copy. Paste new image. We sort of lost the colors there. Zoom up. It hasn't improved much, has it? So let's plug it through some filters. Well, I wouldn't say it was a UFO, but and that it's alien. I would say it's unidentified. But I'm not sure if we're going to that we can identify it. So it's not like a normal surf kite. doesn't look like a hot air balloon, does it? So, what do you think on that one, David? Yeah, we haven't got many colours to play with. Let's try enhancing it. Alright, so we've got some crinkly edges happening now. So what is it? Does look like it might have a piece of string going down this way. And all this white glow around the outside is just compression artifacts. You can see how pixelated it is. We're probably 1, 2, 3 pixels at the top there. It's just not enough definition, is it? Definitely looks like it's a kite, that someone's flying a kite up in the sky, and that looks like it might be the tail. But it's certainly a strange looking character kite. So it'd be, looks like the truck driver was correct. And character kites. Let's see, have we got anything similar? Like it might be like a Tweety bird, maybe. Type it. Sure enough, there are Tweety bird kites. So does it match? It's got a lot of cables on it. These are classic triangle ones. They look like, that looks more like a balloon kite rather than a normal kite. There's that niggle in the throat. Where's the picture going? Don't know. It'll be a hard one to figure out, probably. So it might not be Tweety bird, but it's going to be some other type of character. Look, there's a, what do you call it? A seahorse kite. Or balloon kite. Bit of combination. Oh, look. That's a strange one. It's a leaf, is it? With a ladybird on it. Leaf and a bug kite. So, don't think it's a leaf though. It is kind of weird. Shape, I agree. Character balloons, kites on there. Let's see. There we go. We've got a kitten one that's got some ribbons of it, but I don't think it's that one. Haven't got the ear things. Well, maybe we'll have a look more of the video, see if it changes directions or something. We might be just looking at it on the side, so it's sort of, you know, not flat on. So we're looking at an edge here, going around. So let's go back. Oh, where's my cursor gone? Disappeared on me. Oops. So, looks like it's so that's the other thing. Could be just a trash bag. Could it be just a trash bag that's sort of caught in the wind? I think it could be. Could that be the handle coming down this way? So that's another possibility. So down here, looks like there might be something coming down this way, like a handle. Yeah, looks like the handle may be going this way and bent upwards, so you can't really see it. I'm thinking it could be just a normal shopping bag. And moving around. That means the entrance to it would be the other side to what we're not seeing. Oops. The opening to it would be around the other side. I think we might be onto the correct solution now. Well, that was pretty bad filming. So let's go back to the beginning. So can we see it in the sky at the moment? So he reckons he saw it, but where is it in that picture there? You know? Can you see it there at all? But we know it was down near the tree line. So he started filming, it must have disappeared away the trees, was it? Because it's definitely not there in the photograph, I mean in the video. What's that down here? Is that an animal on the road here? What's that? A Bigfoot. I don't know, what's that? Oh, it's a stone chip on the window. That's what it'll be. No, it's a reflection. I thought he might have caught a Bigfoot there and not noticed. They may have the first interest in Bigfoot video ever. So where's this object? I can't see it anywhere. What's that there? A white speck. I don't think that's what he's filming. But it could be, if it's a white shopping bag, it could be a clue. There it goes. That's white. I think that might be it here in the corner. Gets out the truck. No. What's going on? Where's he filming? Oh, here it is. So we saw that as a white thing before. I reckon it's a shopping bag, guys. Just caught in the wind gust so that you can actually see it looks like a handle come down. Can we see any fishing lines on it? Let's take a snip of it again and see if we can zoom in. But we'll take a bit of more area of it. See if there's any cables coming down. Yeah, we'll save it over the top of the other one. Okay. And bring it into the editor. Okay, let's see if we can zoom that up. Try 3000 maybe. Okay, can we see any cables? Or is it just a shopping bag? It's hard to tell. I can't see anything obvious. But as we know, Billy Meyer used fishing line and you can't see the fishing wire. And people repeated his models with duplication of the model exactly and using fishing wire. And even on HD video, you can't notice the fishing wires. So let's darken it or play around with it. So is that a handle or some lines coming down? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing any lines. It still looks like a shopping bag now to me. So what do you think on that one? Agree, disagree? It's not a plastic rubbish bag. How come? I'm talking about a shopping bag, not a plastic rubbish bag. You know, the white ones you get in the supermarket. Or what do you call them over there? Malls? What's the shops over there? Coles? Mitre 10? They don't have Mitre 10. I can't remember what the shopping mall names you have over there, but yeah, it definitely looks like it was shape shifting as well. So let's carry on a bit. I think he loses it now. Doesn't seem to be much of a wind there though, doesn't it, for kite flying? I don't think it's a kite now. I think because there's no wind, I can't see any wind. I think it's got to be either a helium balloon of some sort or a shopping bag. Well, if you have a look at shopping bag UFOs, you'll see they can be quite confusing. See if we can find some videos. UFO is my grocery bag after devil rips it. So let's have a look at that one. So there we go, we've got a similar white thing happening. He's not very good at keeping his camera on target though, is he? It's down the bottom here still. Looks like it's too far away already. But it just shows how fast they can whip up and travel. And they can just sort of hang there. If there's just enough wind. It's not very good video, unfortunately. I've seen better ones than that, so I want one that's got zoom. There's a Christchurch UFO one. Maybe I have to call it trash bag, is it? Shopping bag. I think we have to try some other keywords. Maybe just bag, maybe. Plastic bag, maybe. Well, let's have a look at this top one. Okay, it looks like most of those other videos we looked at, it's like a couple of dots in the sky. Unless you really zoom on it and do a frame by frame to see if it's changing shape. But we really want to find one that they know is a shopping bag so we can compare it. See, that one's sort of changing shape. Yeah, the one. See, that one looks like a rubbish bag. Sort of morphin. Yeah, that's a black rubbish bag. That one. That one's definitely a black rubbish bag. Looks like it's coming down. Is it? And you can see that sort of changed white as the sun shine on it. And you can see the trees moving a bit here, so he must have slowed it down. So yeah, did look a wee bit like that, I guess. But believe me, there are some better videos out there of people showing you a rubbish bag. We'll try trash bag. Maybe not even put UFO in it, maybe. Windy day, so let's have a look at that one, maybe. Oh, that one's in a barrel. Almost looks like someone's in it. But that's not what we're after, so that's no good. Here we go, trash bag flying. So let's have a look at that one. No, he's using it as a kite. As long as managed to get it going up. Not very high though. Oh, there we are, it's off now. So, that's on a windy day though, it looks like, which is not the same as a truck one. So I'm sort of leaning maybe towards a helium balloon now, but it's got that bag shape there. So, yep, I suppose we better move on. There's still better videos out there, but we're not going to waste too much time on it. So yeah, it could be still. It still could be just a balloon, and it could be some fishing lines coming down here that we just can't see. So we'll just leave that one sort of not UFO alien, but something man-made that we're not able to determine at this stage. Just look like there might be a piece of line coming down this way too now. Yep, so yeah. So we're coming up to 3 hours, guys, so I might actually wrap up the Sunday live for now, and like I said, we can only scratch the surface. There's so many videos to go through, and we're still yet to find a really good one. So here's another one. 3 separate lights. Sounds like a nighttime one. And he's taking a photograph as well as a video, which is good. So what do we got here? 3 lights. As you know, planes have 3 lights. So they have wingtip lights, white lights, and also a tail light as well as a front light. And sometimes you just can't see the blinking lights for the red and also the warning strobe they can't always see. Once I get some money together, I will get a Starlight webcam, and we can actually watch some of the ones that pass us close, far away from us, and also come into land, because the airport's about 20 miles away from here, and they fly right over. So the lights are here. And it's flying downwards, but looks like below the tree line. So just play that again. So where are they? Coming down now. So let's have a look. So So we're getting sort of like a long exposure happening there, because we can see streaks happening. Now that one's kind of interesting though, isn't it? What's your thought on that one? That one probably have to plug it into the plane finder. So I don't really want to do that now, but I'll give you the link to that one. That one's quite interesting. I don't think it's planes following each other, but it's possible. So maybe have a look and see what you think. It doesn't say much up the top there, so what's he say down here? I was home checking my access 9/16/15 NK. So it's an outdoor weather cam, so they're known to pick up artifacts through the infrared. So what he's capturing there is like a bug flying close to the camera straight away. That's a shame. I thought he might have had it on his smartphone or something. So that's illuminated bugs, and that's typical of bugs. A streaks person. Well, it could have been also geese, 3 geese or 3 birds flying after each other. Cams are really bad for that sort of thing. You can see here it was sort of like in between twilight and going dark. By the looks of that. It's got a little ambient light there. Yeah, so it's going to be some birds, I think. It looks like it's far away rather than close to the camera, though, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that one? I think it might be just some birds. So I'll catch you again. Let's see. I normally do Wednesday, Friday, and I do Wednesday and Sunday normally. And if I feel like it, I do a Friday one. But yeah, see what we can look at next time. But maybe more of these MUFON cases for sure. It's not playing any music. I thought that was playing some background music there that I wasn't hearing. Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining us. And what's the time now? It's about 1:30. And we're coming up to 3 hours. So time for me to wrap up because I'm getting a bit dry and I need to head off to the toilet as well. And I'll just cue up some end music. And you can then wait 20 minutes and 20 minutes to 40 minutes for Google to catch up, and it will append the front bit of the video with the back end of the video, and then you can watch it all. You can watch the front bit that you've missed. So yeah, I'll just kick this off. And good night to everybody. Do like and share, and I'll see you again Wednesday.